Okay, and welcome to the Sola San Diego podcast, episode number 18. We got Haley and Austin on the podcast, and our special guest today is Travis Parker.
What is up, my friends?
Yeah. Woo. Travis is an educator here in San Diego, but he travels around the world, has worked with multiple different brands, is basically a social media influencer. Would you call yourself an influencer at this point?
That's a weird thing to self-title, right?
Yeah. How about I self-title that for you? You're an influencer.
I'll take it. Yeah, no, I think social media in general is just our platform to show people what it is that we do, right? So, I think if that can influence people because we're doing great things, then sure, I'll take that title.
Yeah.
Sure.
Travis has a Instagram, a Facebook, a MySpace. Do you have a MySpace?
Oh, yeah, we're still in 1995 on MySpace right now.
Right. Yeah, he's still cranking away on MySpace, has a lot of followers. No.
That's where most of your followers
MySpace,
are,
didn't it start off like a music? Wasn't it a music thing?
Yeah, remember the top 5? Like your fave 5, and it had like your top 5 songs?
That was so much. I thought you meant the Friends. The Friends were so much drama. The
fave 5 is the phone thing, yeah. But I remember the 5 songs that you had on there, and I had... I think 30 Seconds to Mars, all the emo bands. Yeah, that was all me.
Dude, that was the beginning.
That was the beginning.
And then Facebook came after, right?
Yeah. Facebook
and
came
took over the world.
And took over the world. 2007,
buried MySpace.
I think.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. It's somewhere right in there. I did a big campaign for L'Oreal launching their stuff on Facebook. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah. There you go. You're OG.
It was
OG content creator.
It was the first time in front of cameras, and there was a whole director and set, and I was so nervous.
I'm sure you were a natural, though.
I was naturally a disaster. Natural disaster.
I love it. I love it. Travis, also, you have a YouTube channel as well. You have education. You have a website, a URL. You can buy courses, all the things. I mean, we can talk about that a little bit later, but why not plug it already,
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's all good stuff.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Who is Travis Parker? Not Barker. Not guy? Barker. Yeah. Parker with a P.
Not to be confused.
Yeah. I know. Got me excited at first.
Less tattoos. I know you were. I was a letdown. You're like, wait, who's this guy? Yeah. Who's this rat?
Not who I thought.
Who's this imposter?
Haley was like, it's the guy that dated the Kardashians.
Yeah.
I wish I had that financial stream. Jeez Louise. I'm just a regular dude, and I got into hair when I was young. When I was in high school, I was a skateboard kid, punk rock kid, and influenced by music and friends and all that stuff. I started to kind of copy what they were doing, and that led me to putting color into the rainbow and kind of finding myself. And I realized that hair was an adornment of our aesthetic and how we put ourselves out there. And one of my buddies was going to cosmetology school when I was 15 and was like, yo, Trav, check it out. Like, this is cool. And I'm like, yo, I'm out. I want nothing to do with that world. Yeah. And I grew up in the military. So, on Army bases, it really wasn't about standing out. It was about fitting in and following suits. So I was still kind of programmed like that as much as I was reaching out into my sort of crazier phase. But he convinced me to dig a little bit deeper. I did. And when I was 16, I was old enough to go to cosmetology school. And I took high school part-time, requirement classes, bussed off to go to cosmetology school.
Nice.
Got my license between junior and senior year. And
wow.
And dude, I'm 52 now, and like that, it's been the best thing I've ever done. Like it's been my whole life, my career, and I've reinvented myself 3 million times, and I'm stoked. Like I'm more passionate about it today, I think, than I was yesterday or any day before. Yeah, I mean, it just gets better.
That's so sick. Was there ever like a moment where you were like, wait, I'm really fucking good at this? I am very good at this.
I don't feel like that.
No, there was not a moment?
No, I mean, I think so many of us out there have this newer term called imposter syndrome. I think I always have had that to a degree. I never felt that I was ever good enough or the greatest at anything, which I'm so glad that that's kind of a natural feeling, because it was so much of the petrol that I think pushed me harder and pushed me further, and allowed me to work beyond normal. So I think never realizing that I was fucking sweet at anything. I think it's helped me to really kind of charge things hard and with a sense of humility, always push further.
Probably motivates, huh?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
I feel like I have that sometimes. But I was going to ask you, where did you go to cosmetology school? I've assumed you grew up in a bunch of places being a military kid, but...
Yeah. Up in Monterey, in Pacific Grove, there was this dumpy cosmetology school. It's no longer there because it was such a dump. And
little did they know they had a star student in their midst.
They had no clue. That's because we were all drunk the whole time.
17 years old.
Yeah, Pacific Grove. Back then I was 16, like I said, but I worked in a Mexican restaurant as a busboy.
Okay.
I'd go to high school in the mornings. I'd bus out, literally like community bus, to cosmetology school in Pacific Grove. And then I'd go into Monterey after cosmetology school. Like it would end at, I think, 5:30. I'd be on the clock at 6 o'clock, and I was passing out chips and salsa and cleaning up throw up in the bathroom until 9 o'clock, and then my mom would come pick me up at 9 o'clock. And,
Nice.
And then I'd start the next day just the same.
Passing out
You're a
chips
grinder.
and salsa. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I like
And that was my second job, actually. I had a job when I was 14, helping my friend's dad, who had a sign painting company. We used to sand down the signs before we could prime them, before he would come in and actually like legit, do paint whatever he was going to paint on the sign, like logos and stuff like that.
So you were just working from a young age and kind of was just used to that grind mentality?
Yeah, dude, I think we all define balance differently. And for me, if I'm doing what I love, like my balance is in that world, right? And so for me, I've always appreciated working. I love what I do. I chose things that I'm passionate about, and it's never been torture. Like in the longest hour of the longest day, it's never been horrible. So I'm a grown worker for sure.
I like it too. What made you start the Travis Parker Academy? Like what led you to be into the space that you are now, like at over 23,000 Instagram followers, a large YouTube following as well, people buying your class and stuff. Like what are the steps that like you took to get there? Was it a long road? Was it like a big break of some sort where you were working with a brand? Like what was that?
It's there's a fake answer and there's a real answer, right?
The fake? I want to hear the fake one first.
So the fake answer was I was so passionate.
Hell yeah.
That I drove right into it and it was all intentional. The real answer was I've been teaching now for over 20 years, and I used to work for Tony & Guy, TG Hair Products back in the 90s. That led me to opening up a salon, and when I owned my salon, I was really prioritizing branding as part of everything, with marketing, but also with education. And so I wrote a lot of content and curriculum that we trained our team with. And then I had an opportunity come up with L'Oreal, where L'Oreal reached out to me, and they're like, "Hey, Trav, would you want to, launch this brand for us?" And hence the conversation we were just having about Facebook. And I'm like, sure, I'd love to do it. And I was totally fish out of water, petrified to public speak. And one of my first gigs was that Facebook shoot that we did launching L'Oreal on Facebook in the U.S.
L'Oreal or L'Oreal Professional?
L'Oreal Professional, yeah. So they're professional brand of the division of L'Oreal.
Yeah.
And that was a 16-year relationship, which we just decided to kind of high five early last year, about a year ago from now, to be honest. And but to your question, I was at a point where I was trying to figure out what that next thing was, and L'Oreal was an incredible ride. It gave me so much on learning how to public speak, presenting myself, formatting content, training trainers, teaching teachers how to teach, taking hairdressing from just a perspective of artistry into a technical explanation of why. It gave me immense things, but it was time for me to grow. And I met a girl, and here's the real story. I met a girl, and we started to date, and like 5 seconds after we started to date, she moved to Austin. And I was like, oh snap, like how am I gonna be like flying all over the country with L'Oreal, working in a salon? My son was really young at the time. And how am I gonna get all this done and still see, my girl in Austin? And I was like, I need passive income. I need to figure out something in my life that allows me to make money when I'm not behind the chair. And as much as L'Oreal was rad, I wasn't getting paid if I wasn't traveling the country and teaching for them. And then clearly with clients, if I wasn't, behind the chair, I wasn't making money either. And I'd already gone down that route of owning a big salon. I sucked at business. I was a terrible leader, terrible at the whole thing. I mean, I just sucked.
We've seen that before. You learn along the way.
You're not a paperwork guy?
Nah, I didn't know how to delegate well enough for the things that I was good at and the things that I wasn't good at to all kind of meet in the middle with bringing in outsourced people to help me make it a valid and viable company. And the things that I was good at, we crushed. Like, we had a lot of notoriety, we won a lot of awards, we had an incredible team. But yeah, P&Ls, were shit. And just the other stuff was just sort of lame. So anyways, that was one attempt of me trying to make money, with other people's time or other people sort of paying into what I was doing. And so I started to think about it, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I need to do my own thing. I need to develop an educational company. And so then came the next decision of like, okay, well, what does that look like? What would it be? And how could I find a point of difference with who I am as a person and what it is that I'm putting out into the world? And in a super saturated moment in history with educators and education, again, how could I find something that was unique? And at my age. So this was 7 years ago. I'm 52 now, so 45. Okay. So here I am selling products to the average hairdresser who's 24, 25 years old. I'm 45. I'm the age of their dad, or if not, just under it, or the grandpa. I mean, I don't know.
They're like, chill, dude.
They're like,
bro.
Why don't you go golf with my dad?
Good thing you look
stop
rad.
telling me what's cool.
You look rad. You have a rad vibe to you.
You're a cool dad.
Yeah,
I'm the cool dad, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, what is going to be our product? Like, what is it that we will sell? I know how to talk about hair. I know how to talk about haircuts, but how do I drive this towards this audience? And so I thought to myself, okay, well, I've got enough fundamental understanding of how to break down any haircut on the planet. Why don't I write fundamental content? And so I started to develop what we call Hairdressing Made Easy, and that is the name of our educational brand, aside from Travis Parker Academy. But my thought was, okay, let's allow everybody to be their unique artist. Let's just teach them how to find predictability in their work. Let's put terminology in a consistent sort of biblical sense of a glossary. And let's provide people with content that's easy to digest, that's modularized, and allows everybody to flourish with it. And so that's what we started to do. And I wrote this curriculum that's based on 3 different pillars: cutting course 1, 2, and 3. It's in person, it's live online, and now we're launching e-course versions of it as well on our LMS. And then we're doing a bunch of trend-based stuff now too. And I'm doing a lot of stuff with brands where I'm helping their educators build their artistry into sellable content. So it's teachable and sellable.
You had mentioned in a previous meeting that you teach influencers that are online that think they know how to explain things, but how to explain them better and more into like a formal sense, right? Like talk about that. Like you could have 100,000 followers on Instagram or 1 million on TikTok, whatever it is, but you need to still know how to describe what you are doing, right? And that's where you come in and teach those people how to teach, right? So they don't fumble their words and they're like, well, I just did this and now it's perfect. Here you go. Look at this. It's great.
I mean, it's, thank you for asking. It's a great, I like the question. As I didn't really know what I was doing, I just sort of jumped into things. I think so many of us in this industry are exactly that way, where we don't really know what we're doing, but we're just ambitious creatures and we want to sort of push ourselves to new levels. Well, we're in a time in history, in this phenomenal time in history, where we can really position who we are as this force to the world with media platforms and social media, period. But at the same time, when we're learning that we're a great artist, and we're now presenting ourselves as a facilitator or an educator of our artistry, we realize explaining it isn't always easy. And what's natural to us is not hard. It's not natural to you, Austin, or vice versa. And so, what my thought was is if I could build a language that allowed us all to speak a language as we're communicating in English right now with clarity upon whatever our artistry is, we could really move the needle forward. And so, yeah, I was blessed, and I've been lucky throughout my career to work with phenomenal people. And with that said, I became the older guy in town, and so a lot of my friends that were younger, that were becoming popular and famous, were just like, dude, like they wouldn't say this, but they're like, I'm crushing it over here.
You're right.
But then now I'm getting booked for these huge jobs, and I have no idea how to public speak. I have no idea how to take my artistry, as I was saying a minute ago, and format that into teachable content. I have no idea how to encourage an audience through an opening that keeps them engaged, and then carry them through an entire process or an entire course, top to bottom. And so, it became an opportunity for me to start to work with phenomenal people and help them.
Sensei.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Sensei.
And somebody said this a long time ago in a course that I was in, and they weren't saying it to me. I was in a room. I was in a sea of people. I was part of the ocean in this moment. But she said, when she spoke, her name is Suzanne Sturm. She was the VP of Redken for a long time. She was like, look, I want you all to think of yourselves as Olympic coaches, and who we're going to go teach are the Olympians, and we're taking them from bronze to silver or silver to gold, and that's your job. And so I've always sort of taken that into heart in regards to certainly where I'm at, to this question where I'm at right now, is like, can I take where you're at, which is a phenomenal place, and up it that much? Can I take you from a 10 to an 11? Like, that's a really cool thing.
It is.
And I can thrive in that role. Taking somebody and motivating them to get to work is a little bit harder for me. Taking somebody that has no motivation and trying to help them find motivation, that's a little bit more hard for me as well.
But if they have the drive.
That's hard.
But if they're already there and they're just like, look, I just need a coach. I need somebody to help me through this next stage. I think that I can really support that place.
Yeah, I do think it's a unique to be very good at your skill and then be able to teach it. That is unique, right? And you look at, professional and college sports, the majority of coaches are ones who played the sport but were not good at it. Yeah. Right? They were the bench warmer in the NBA. They were the third string, punt team guy that learned, right? But to be the John Elway or the Tom Brady or, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan probably will never coach a team, right? Because the ones that are that naturally good aren't good at teaching. So that is a unique combination, which you seem to have.
Thanks, dude. I don't know if it's, it was a lot of work. Like, I definitely had to put the time in to understand who I was in an authentic sense in front of people. And that took a minute for me to figure out. But it's kind of like when I opened up my salon and I was saying I sucked at business. Like, just because I was good at hair and I was good at teaching other people how to be good at hair and building this brand and all that other stuff didn't mean that I was good at all in sales. Didn't mean I was good at all in sort of the other parts of what made that business successful. And like I said, I failed in a lot of different ways with it, to the point where I eventually closed the operations.
That is the life of being an entrepreneur, isn't it? Like, you have to wear all the different hats and learn how to do multiple different things. And when you go to college or you go to hair school, there's different diversions, right, that you want to master. But when you own your own business, you need to be good at multiple things, right? And so that takes a hell of a work ethic, right off the beginning. But
yeah, I don't know what you guys think, but I think in general, like, we're in a time where we've got, more technology than we've ever had that can help us get through things. But now we're also multitasking so many different things at once.
Too much.
That it's a lot. Yeah, it's overwhelming, right? So this may be helping us in this department of being, think of ChatGPT. Like, it's dope. Like, I love that it helps me write copy and do all this stuff for my website, helps me write code.
For sure.
But then now I'm also managing my website. I'm building my website. I'm trying to fix the page that crashed today. That we were talking about earlier. You know what I mean?
We don't talk about that crash.
We're not going to mention that.
It never went down, as far as we're concerned. It was always there.
Yeah. But I think that's it's a difficult time right now. So we have all these advantages, but at the same time, we are having to do more as professionals now, and so it can be tough. It can be tough.
And be constant too, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays people kind of expect that constant, not just, entertainment, but education, whatever it is. If you sort of take a breather, then people are like, what the hell's wrong?
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we were talking about the algorithm hating us too, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if you, we were just talking about Instagram and like TikTok. If you stop posting or you take a break from posting, they're probably not going to show your next video, to as many people, right? Like they want to see that you are very active. They punish you for not being on the app and stuff like that. I mean, so how do you do that? Like, how do you're just pumping out content here and there, and I mean, it's fun. Like, right? I talk to people about, like, they're like, I'm not very good at social media. I'm like, well, are you like making it fun for yourself? Are you doing it because if you're doing it,
people can feel that. Yeah, if you're having fun, then it's magnetic
for sure. Yeah, and if it comes naturally, right? Like do things that make you happy, right? I mean,
so are you
don't
having
force
fun
anything.
with it?
You're like, I'm a prisoner. I'm a prisoner of my own Instagram account.
Yeah. I first of all, again, I love that it's a vehicle that I get to drive forward with, and I love that I get to be at the steering wheel. And for that, in a sense of metaphor, is a beautiful thing. And I get to drive it at my pace too, which I love. I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that it's hard as hell as well. Like, it's challenging. Like, posting something's easy,
right?
But getting the likes, getting the attention, and that driving into some sense of revenue stream is really hard.
Yeah.
And then doing it, like you said, Austin, on a consistent level is hard. I mean, it takes a lot of management and self-discipline, and it takes you really understanding what it is that you're even positioning. So at that point, you have to understand yourself as a product. Like, what is my product? And then, like you guys said, putting a sense of authenticity into it and passion behind it because you actually enjoy it is why it's so important to enjoy what you do for a living. Otherwise, you get burnt out.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what I was going to say is that, I like it enough to contribute to it. I definitely have a lot of support. I have got an amazing editor that does all my post-production. Like, to be honest, I made our video for our class on May 13th.
Yeah.
I did that. Yeah, I did that.
You did that. Good job. Good
Little
work.
plane
You're like,
flying
I'm
up.
proud of that.
It doesn't always happen in San Diego, and the little plane takes off. I was so proud of myself. I was like, Ryan, look at what I did.
He was like, good job.
He's like, all right,
Time
cool,
that
you're
well.
hired, and I quit. Yeah. So,
Bye, Ryan. You're
I
done.
like it. I like it enough that, again, I get to connect with my audience, and I'm passionate about my product, and I truly teach because I love hairdressing, and I love helping people find answers that they may not have been able to find anywhere else. And blessed in the role, I take it very seriously. And so if social media becomes a way that I can help to connect with more people on a more massive level, then I get to impact the industry, on a greater level.
Yeah.
But I definitely struggle with it all. Like, I am always trying to find more of my authentic self. I did a video for Behind the Chair the other day because I'm doing some stuff with them, and I forget, it's before our class. I think it must be in April 29th. They have a BTC tour thing. And I sat there in front of this wall outside of my salon, and I took, I swear to God, it was like 60 or 70 takes of something that was like 30 seconds long. And I literally wanted to take my head against the wall. I was like, Travis, get out of your head, bro. Relax.
And people probably walk by you on the street. They're like, oh my God, that guy's going through it, isn't he?
They're like, influencer in the wild. Influencer in the wild.
Is he okay?
I love that.
100%.
Maybe they're posted out there right now.
Oh
you
my
never know.
God, yeah. They're like, take 98.
Yeah.
But it gets back to that level of perseverance again and tenacity, right? If we really believe in what we're doing, we have to push through those moments where it just sucks. And sometimes we have to take a break and take a second, try at it. But I think that's my challenge with social media. It's this incredible tool that I get to have, that we all get to have. But how do I use it as a resource and find myself in the most authentic place so I can drive my message and not drive people away?
For sure. Getting into both of you guys, I mean, Austin, Travis from a few years ago when, shout out Nika, she introduced you guys,
Nika.
correct?
Yeah, Nika at Oceanside, Sola Oceanside. Yeah, what's up, Nika? I think Nika's going to be assisting Travis on the class here in May.
Yeah, it's so stoked.
But we first met through Nika at the Sola. But actually, I'd back it up before that. We opened the first Sola in California, in La Jolla. 2006, I believe it was. And that's when you had your salon in La Jolla, right?
Yeah.
And so we opened that one. And
Where was that one at in La Jolla?
Bird Rock.
Oh, it's down Bird Rock.
Still
okay.
there, yeah.
Rad.
18, 19 years. But, you know, when we opened that one, Travis was, you know, kind of the name in La Jolla. So I'd, you know, seen your salon on Girard, right? You know, and was aware of your salon. And it was hoping...
Fanboying, totally.
Yeah. Or more
We had to call the cops
trying
on
to
like
get...
3 times.
On Gerard, that's
You're like,
cool.
who works for
Yeah, it
him?
was-
and
it was
how
a
can
good
they come
spot.
get
Be
a
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely
exactly.
good
How
spot.
do I get some of those people to come get a studio here?
That's where they all went when they had that walkout.
You're like, I thought I saw a guy.
Nobody
peeking
can.
through
I can say that. Yeah.
peeking
handing
through the
out
glass.
flyers.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks good.
Get her in.
But so we had never met. But then years later, it was probably 2019 or so, we had the Sola party, and Nika at Sola Oceanside brought Travis. We met then, and then since then we, you know, would get together for lunch, have some beers, have fun.
Yep.
Go back to Travis's house, get a little stoned twice.
That might have happened.
You're like, allegedly.
You know, but I have to say this about you, dude. Like, when we did meet in Belly Up, like, you had 300 people in that place, and everybody was partying and having fun. And here I was when I first walked in, and you're up on stage, and you're this great speaker, and you loved everybody there.
Yeah.
And then you took your time to come talk to me and say hi, and I was like, that is a solid human being right there. I was pretty hyped on you from the minute I met you.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not easy at those parties, but just, you know,
not at all.
distracting or, you know,
For sure.
you know, kind of pulled all over the place. But yeah, I met then, and then yeah, we'd get together quite a bit. And this is the first time working together doing this class.
Yeah.
Kind of got to know each other on a friend basis and talk industry and kind of compare notes and whatnot. And then, you know, now we're excited we're working together on this class.
Yeah, let's talk about the class. What about it? How about it?
The first of many to come.
Yeah, I'm
May
excited.
13th, right here at the Creative Space. We have 2 parts to it, right? You have the demonstration, and then you have hands-on right afterwards. Little double-double. 1 in the morning is the demonstration, and then in the afternoon. What?
1 in the morning?
1 in the morning. 1 in the morning. 1 in the afternoon.
One in the morning.
1 in the morning.
I was like,
Wait,
wait,
where's that accent
you
from?
know 1 in the morning? I don't know. I'm from Louisiana. No, I don't know.
I'm like, hold on, what kind of class is this?
That was like
I turned into a
one in the
character. I don't
morning.
know. You called me on. I was like, I'm not who I am. I don't know.
sorry, ignore me.
Authentic
Fade into
social
darkness.
media.
Yeah,
My brain's
But
not the
not
same.
in podcast.
One class in the morning, and then 1 in the afternoon.
Oh my God. That's funny.
1 a.m.
And the,
Yeah, I mean, I do want to say this, and this is something that I haven't told you guys yet. This is a special class for me. I haven't had the opportunity to do a trend-based class in San Diego, in my hometown, since I started the academy.
Oh, wow,
My
I didn't know
entire
that. Oh, that's
focus.
awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked. This is a
Yeah.
big cool thing for me because it's in my
Happy to have you.
backyard.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm so
Right.
stoked.
It's on your home court.
Well, yeah, it's weird, right? Because we always start off in a certain place, and that's right where we're at.
Yeah.
But my education has had me all over the country, if not all over the world. But when you do stuff where you live, like nobody cares who you are. They want somebody from New York to come in, or
Yeah,
somebody from
yeah.
LA to come in, or if you're
Yeah.
coming from Paris, they want you to come in.
True.
Like I got a job in Italy where I'm doing a 2-day hands-on in Italy. I'll get to your question in a sec. In June.
Dang.
And like
Can I come?
that's going to be banging because they're going to have some cat coming out there from San Diego, right? They're going
Can
to
I
be
come
like,
in your
"Oh my God,
suitcase?"
this is the
Yeah.
sickest." Of course you can come.
Bring
Haley's
a
in the-
newborn,
Haley's in the suitcase.
Yeah, bring the hubs, bring the new kid.
Yeah, right.
Like we're gonna
Pretend
jam,
like you're
we're gonna
learning.
jam out.
Pretend like you cut hair. Nice.
So
You're really there for the wine, though.
Exactly.
Yes, if anybody's going to be out there in June, come hang out with us. But until then, hang out with us here in San Diego,
where in Italy, by the way?
in Milan.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, Milan. My friends own this academy called Bond's Hair. And Alessandro is this cat that's just mad talented. He's a barber by trade, but he's 3rd-generation hairdresser. And he's cool, he's nice, but he's just legit. Like his style is super high fashion and like urban runway. And I mean, he's the real deal. I'm like, you realize I'm an old grandpa, right? Not that cool. But yeah, they seem pretty hyped on me, so I'm stoked.
Cool.
But anyways, yeah, full circle. all my stuff has been out of town, and the only thing that I've done in town is my fundamental trainings, which is the cutting course 1 through 3 that I was just talking about. So, that's rad, and I love it because it really helps people to defragment their thoughts, their processes, put their systems into a systematic, modularized thing. But again, it's not necessarily like, this is creative. And so this being a creative workshop is really exciting to me that I get to do it here, and I get to connect with my peers. My peers. There's my little fake accent. My peers. My peers. Peers.
Yeah, I don't know what that was from. Yeah. Similar to my accent, maybe.
Come on, man.
Louisiana.
Louisiana. My peers in Louisiana. And so we will be doing 2 haircuts in the morning for the demonstration. I'm going to do long layers, concave layers, but more of a shag sort of vibe to it, with a curtain fringe that's going to hit around the bridge of the nose. I still need to find a model, which maybe you could be my model. And it's
I'm large these days, though, so I'm sure.
Large and in charge.
Matters the head.
So that'll be a pop and cut. I just did the same cut or similar cut for Karastas and Shuamura up in LA last week. And we did a YouTube shoot for it 3 weeks ago, so it's one that's, I think, feeling right now. We've got a lot of attention from it, and it's definitely something that's trending, and I think is something that people can put directly behind the chair and make money from it right away, which I think is huge because it's not only cool, but it's something that you can take right to the bank. So, and be cooler because you got it in your pocket. So. That's one of the demo haircuts. And then the second haircut, I'm thinking, if we find the right model, I'm thinking of doing a mid-length bob, layers inside that bob as well. Bobs are cool. Bobs are cool. Bobs are cool.
And what about
Bob's
the afternoon? What about the afternoon?
And so then the afternoon, and I'd love to get the viewers' idea of what we should do for the afternoon. But my thought was we will take one of those 2 cuts that we saw on a live model and put that into a structured application of hands-on on mannequins in the afternoon.
Cool.
And initially I was thinking the long layered haircut would be the seller, because again, it is a bread and butter sort of haircut. It's something that, there's more long hair in general out there than mid-lengths, and nothing against mid-lengths. It's just more people, it's an easier sell.
Yeah.
So totally open for discussion.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what everybody that's listening to this thinks. So
let us
throw
know
that
in the comments.
Yeah,
Jinx.
for sure.
Right in the comments. Drop it right in
Because
there.
we're both from Louisiana.
Throw it in the comments.
At 1 a.m.
It's my peer over there.
Any final comments? Plug everything you have. Plug your Instagram. Plug your Academy websites. Everything.
Everything.
Give me everything.
Your home
security.
address.
Yeah.
Your home address. Give me your social security.
This is awesome.
Your child's name. I'm kidding.
Travis Parker Academy is the name of the school. And then our curriculum is called Hairdressing Made Easy. So if you see either one of those things, it's same. One's the name of the brand, and one's the name of the actual content that we create. We have a huge focus on YouTube right now, which is under Travis Parker Academy as well. And we are starting to do long form video, and I just shot my 7th video for it yesterday, but we've only launched 3 so far. So we've got a lot in the bucket right now. Cool. It's all free stuff. It's 10 to 15 minute videos, so it's not long, it's not torturous, and it's bite sized, and it definitely gives you a sort of an appetizer of who we are as a brand. And then if you want more than that, we have e-courses and e-learning on our website that allows you to really dive deep into the language of hairdressing, your relationship with hairdressing, your understanding of how to break down any haircut possible. And as I mentioned earlier, we not only offer that as e-learning, but we offer that as live online courses, which are on a different level. We've definitely got our live online courses dialed. And then, of course, our cherry is we offer in-person trainings as well. So that said, I do private coaching. I work with brands. I've worked with 3 already this year, and we're in March. So
hell yeah!
If you're a brand listening to this right now and you're building your team, I got your back. And,
hell yeah!
And then that's
cool.
That's
and then your
about
Instagram is Travis Parker.
Instagram's tricky because I got 2 handles. One's Travis Parker Hair, which is my main handle. Yep. And we're just about to hit 25K right now. So help us out, jump in there.
Get them there, let's go.
And then Travis Parker Academy is our page that's dedicated just to the content.
Perfect. Sounds good, guys. Well, appreciate it, Travis.
guys rule.
Appreciate the
Thank you.
time.
Yeah,
Thanks
loved
for coming
having
through
you.
today,
So dope.
and it was just an awesome day.
I appreciate
Definitely.
you guys. Everyone rules.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.